What's up, beauty brains? So today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the stabbed rose look. Let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is just size up where you want your rose and how far you want it to stick out. If your rose is a heavier one like mine, you don't want it to stick out too far or it will just fall off. Then you're just going to cut the rose where you sized it up, but make sure you don't lose the end because you're going to need this for later. After that, you're just going to bend the rose into a flat U shape. This is what's going to be your rose support and what's going to sit against your face. It doesn't have to necessarily be a U shape, I just found this was easier as it stuck to my face better because my rose was heavier and I was able to adjust the angle of the rose where I wanted it. Next, you're just going to take some medical tape, you can find this at most pharmacies, and you're just going to rip it into small pieces. Not too small or else it won't be able to handle the weight of your rose. We also rip or tear rather than cutting it because the ragged edges are easier to conceal rather than straight ones. Don't worry if your tape isn't perfectly flat, as this helps add texture to the pierced look through the cheek. I added tape both below and above the rose just to make sure it was really stuck down on my face. Once you're happy with placement and security, you're ready to move on to concealment. Just taking some foundation and a soft blending brush, you're then going to start dabbing around the rose where the tape is just to blend in all that white. The reason why to use medical tape rather than sellotape or masking tape is just because medical tape is designed to stick to faces and bandages and things like that, rather than sellotape that's meant to bind paper or anything like that. And rather than masking tape is because it's also more transparent, which makes it easier to blend in with your foundation and to your face. After you've fully blended out your foundation, you're just going to take some scar wax or even some nude coloured hair wax does work, and you're just going to take it onto a popsicle stick and start dabbing that around your wound. This just helps to create some texture and really gives that pulled effect or stabbed effect around the rose. You can really give as much or as little texture as you want, it's just really up to you. Once you've applied both enough foundation and scar wax, you're then just going to move on by adding this translucent powder. This is just to make it not so shiny, as the wax has a reflection on it, which your skin isn't reflective. So it just helps to give it that more natural look. Once you are all powdered down, it's time to move on to the bruising and the blood. So just starting with a red eyeshadow and taking the same brush you used before or a different soft brush, you're just going to start dabbing in that colour just to create that bruise effect. You don't want to put it on like you'd put on your normal blush, or else you'll make it too pink and it won't be as realistic. You dab it on just to give that scattered effect, as a bruise isn't just one solid colour. Use either alcohol activated or water activated paints, which would make the bruise effect more intense and a bit quicker in the application. But if you're like me and you don't have these sorts of palettes, eyeshadow does work just as well. It'll just take a little bit longer to put on in the application process. Once you are happy with the red shadow, go ahead and add in some black as well just to create more depth. Then it's time to go in with the blood. So I keep my fake blood in the fridge. If you want to know how to make this, I'll leave a link in the description. Because some of the ingredients had settled, I just used a paintbrush to use this on my face. This actually worked really well, as it looked like clotted blood and gave a really nice effect. You're just going to use the small paintbrush and just dab it in and around the area, concentrating more around the middle of the rose, but just go hard. The gorier the better. As you can see, the wire from the rose is just sort of blended in now, so it doesn't really matter how thick or thin your wire is, just as long as you are able to conceal it. Then you're just going to take some of the more liquid blood from the top and just start dripping it down the face. This just adds a cool effect. Then you're just going to take the other side of the rose wire that we cut off earlier and position it in your mouth where comfortable. Taking the blood once again, you're just going to add a few more drips to the other side of your mouth and around the other rose stem. And there you have it. That was the tutorial on being stabbed by a stem. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to see more videos like this. And when you subscribe, just click that little bell icon so you can turn on post notifications so you get a notification every time that I post. I shall see you guys next time. Bye!